3, 2.
Hi guys.
Hi everyone, my name is Emily.
And I'm Zoe.
And this is Easy Listening. Well, alright, so this is our Back to the Future special. Today Back to the Future is turning 36.
Yeah.
36 years.
Yeah.
That is insane. Back to the Future holds such a special part in our lives. It's a big movie that brought us together, that we bonded over so much. We're both wearing our Back to the Future gear.
Yep.
She's got her Back to the Future sweatshirt. I got my Back to the Future shirt. This is 35, so I got this a year ago when it was over in the not the tribute store, but what's
it's like a little store
like
that's
Hollywood prop
Film
store.
Vault.
Film Vault. Yes,
Yeah.
over in Universal, which is a real nice shirt.
I can't believe it's been a year. It feels like just yesterday we went to that store, the store and got that shirt.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It's alright guys, we're here. It's just we wanna really get everybody, if you don't know what Back to the Future is, we really want
Shame,
to
first of all.
always shame. That's
But understandable because it is 36 years old, so.
We shame you, but we're here to educate you.
Yes.
So we're just going to be talking about the movies, going through everything. We'll be talking about the ride that was out in Hollywood here, and then also in Japan,
Yep.
which still kind of lives on because they've renamed it, and I'll talk about that later. But and then we'll be talking about the documentary that aired on Netflix a few years ago, and I think still might be on there today.
Mhm.
And just our personal experiences, giving you guys some insight about us and about, our love for the Back to the Future and why it holds such a dear place to us.
Yeah, and I will say, when I found out that today was the anniversary, I texted you immediately and was like, we have to talk about it because it is such, like you were saying, it's such a big part of our friendship. It was one of the bigger movies that we watched together.
One of the very first ones we ever did.
Yeah, and it really just solidified our friendship. So I think it would be kind of, I don't know, just not us if we didn't talk about it on its birthday.
Yeah,
so yeah.
True. So do you want to go ahead and get started all about the first movie and everything?
Sure. So the first movie, if you haven't watched it, takes place in the 80s. And it's about a kid. His name is Marty McFly. And he is trying out for band tryouts, him and his band, to play at the homecoming dance.
Yes.
And it's all about, basically, he's like the underdog. He doesn't really take risks, doesn't take chances. He kind of is following in his father's footsteps, which you learn about, that his dad, kind of did the same thing, didn't really take chances on anything. And then he, I don't know, is he Doc, is he his friend, is he his advisor? I mean, we don't really know the backstory
of him and Doc.
Him and Doc.
I think it's just kind of, like a little mentor that he got with somehow.
Yeah, I think it was just kind of like they're both kind of, Doc is very eccentric and Marty is very, like, reserved and, like I said, kind of, doesn't take chances, and they kind of just bonded, I guess. I don't know, that'd be kind of a good movie to have maybe sometime.
A little backstory on
that. But anyway, so Doc creates a time machine out of the DeLorean because, if you're going to make a time machine, might as well make it with some style. So he, makes a time machine out of the DeLorean, and Marty ends up going back in time and meets his family and has an adventure in the 50s. And we get to see how Marty's actions in the past, travel to his future and how it kind of affects his future. And it's a great movie. It's absolutely amazing. And fun fact for you, and you learn as you go through the documentary, that was only supposed to be it. That was supposed to be the end of the story, was the ending of the first movie. And it did so well in the box offices that the director and the writer was like, we got something special here. We need to ride this out as long as we can. So then they started, with the second one.
Yeah.
So, and you can talk about the second one.
So we get the second one. It picks up directly after the first movie, of course. And I have to say, these movies are made years apart, but you would not know, because they are so seamless.
Yep.
Like it literally picks up seconds after the first one ends, and we'll sneak little fun fact. I remember watching Michael J. Fox say that because there was such time in between the two movies, he had to learn how to skateboard again.
Yeah.
So obviously he skateboards in the first movie and everything, and he was filming Family Family Ties.
Yep, Family Ties.
In between and everything like that. So after the wrapping of the first movie, he obviously lost all of that, and he literally had to learn again for the second movie.
Yep.
But it picks right back up. Now we go to the future, which we see some fun little futuristic things. Obviously hoverboards, which we're still kind of hoping out for. We have our own version now.
Yep.
The style and everything. We get to see Jaws 19.
Yep.
A little throwback to Jaws there, which we did last week. Which is a lot of fun. So Marty's family is now in trouble. Marty gets to see his future, and he learns some sneak previews of kind of like something happened there, and he has to learn from it, or else he's going to end up like himself in the future, and he does not like him in the future and stuff. So we get to see his family, his kids and stuff, and through saving his son from being arrested and all this stuff, we eventually then get into the third.
Yep.
Third once again.
Yep. So the third one is probably the most different, I want to say, out of the first and the second one, because like you said, the first and the second one take place right, back to back.
Well, the third
one does, but I'm saying where he goes really doesn't.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
because we're left off like in a real tie there. Sorry.
Yeah.
At the end of the second one, it gets electrocuted because we're hovering up. We get electrocuted, and Doc disappears.
Yeah.
Doc goes away, and we have to find out what happened
to Doc.
And stuff. So this is the first time Marty has to really use everything Doc's taught him.
And figure it out on his own.
Figure it out. So yeah, where we go is very different because, there's nothing there. Like nobody's ever lived before. It was like we're running into people we know. His family, his parents as kids, and then him in the future. Now we're like where nobody is.
Yeah, it's almost isolating for Marty, which I think was very different than the first and the second one. So you see this character development happen in the third one because in the first and the second one he is very reliant on not just Doc but his family as well because he's heard the stories from his parents of how they met and everything, and so he kind of knows how things play out in the first one, and then in the second one, of course, Doc was there to help him. So in this third one, when he's trying to find Doc, they go back to the 1800s, I believe.
1800s, yeah. Settler times.
Yeah, 1895, I want to say.
I don't know. I'm not going to speak to the date.
I don't remember. 1885, maybe. I don't know.
Long time.
Long time. And we're in the Old West, and Marty is by himself, and he has to find where Doc went. And he knows this is where he is because he gets a letter at the end of the second movie, or at the beginning of the third movie, he gets a letter from Doc saying that he's in this time and don't come looking for me. I'm very happy here and everything. And then he learns a couple things before he goes back to find him, and that changes, and he wants to find him, and so he goes, and they go on this great adventure in the Wild West, and he meets his ancestors, and Emmett Brown, Doc, finds love, and at the end of the third movie, she was saying something about his past, something happens, there's an incident that he doesn't want happening, and that comes into fruition, and he has to make a choice of whether or not he's going to make the right choice and get off that path. And then at the very end, we learn that Doc Brown created the DeLorean gets smashed, and Emmett Brown, Doc, he creates another time machine. And he has two sons, Jules and Vern, with his wife, and they live happily ever after.
Yeah, so that's kind of how the conclusion comes to the movies and everything. But again, one thing it does so flawlessly is the connection between each movie. Like we said, picking up one right after the other, and then also how they reuse characters and stuff. Like how the ancestors are literally supposed to be are literally the same actors. Like his mom plays his great great ancestor and everything like that.
And he plays his great.
He plays
his great grandfather. Yeah. He plays his son in the second movie. How they reuse the characters and everything makes it so great and stuff. Oh, the mayor too.
Mayor Goldie Wilson.
Yes, the mayor. So he runs into the mayor, or he runs into like a busboy in the cafe in the first movie, who then becomes the mayor in the future, which is so fun how they play and throw in those little ties and stuff, and just the changes, like from movie to movie, like we said, like the little effects, and it really plays on the timeline effect, the butterfly effect, and everything like that. Marty does something or says something, and then we see it take place and actually in effect in another movie later on down the line. Yeah. Which is a lot of fun. Yeah. And then,
I think you see a lot of that in the second one, because the second one, they have to go back because Marty makes a mistake in the future, and they have to go back to the 50s to get something.
Yes, that's how we get the Biff tower.
Yeah, Biff Tannen Tower, yeah.
Yes, I have a little hotel key from them.
Yeah.
My keys that I keep.
Yep.
Yeah, so you get to see a lot of that butterfly effect and stuff.
Which I think is
amazing. So brilliant.
Flawless.
And everything. Flawless. And then another little fun fact about the movie, we're jumping around here between like in screen and off screen. But off screen, in the first movie, the amazing songs written by Huey Lewis. I love Huey Lewis in the news. Huey Lewis gets a cameo in that scene. He's the little guy with the megaphone, which is a lot of fun.
He's judging the bands.
Yeah.
For the homecoming, and it's Marty, Michael J. Fox character, is playing with his bandmates, and they're playing the theme song that Huey Lewis had made up, not for the movie actually, but just came up with, and he says that they're just too darn loud.
Yeah.
Saying that to his bandmates, which I think is absolutely hilarious. And little snippet on that was, like I was saying, the directors of Back to the Future came to the band and said, can you make something for us? And he goes, well, I got something here, but I don't think you want it for your movie. But it's already done, because they didn't have any song really that's going to tie them, get their name out there. And so he's like, I have this song, but I don't know if it's going to be, it has nothing to do with time travel or anything. And they were like, oh, we want to hear it anyways. And it was The Power of Love. And that, every time I hear that song, and I know so many other diehard Back to the Future fans hear it, it just brings you right back to the very beginning.
It gets you going.
Yeah.
We'll be jamming on the car.
And it comes onto the radio.
Sorry about that. We just realized we were having some audio issues. We were talking to our little director, Offset, who's helping us out. So I guess the audio issues fixed. We're going to jump back in. Now we're showing you the ride. So we're just going to go ahead and cut right into that and explain what's going on there.
Yeah.
So because of this success of all the movies and everything like that, we got a ride. And the ride spanned for years, and it spanned over Hollywood, Orlando, and Japan.
Yep.
So you want to talk about the ride? Zoe got to ride it several times. I think I did at some point.
Yeah. So the ride opened with Universal Studios Florida, and we got it. I believe we were the first park to get it, believe it or not. It was backwards with Jaws. They had the backlot tour first, but we got ours first because they wanted to see how it was going with the new park and everything like that. So it opened with the park in 1993. and unfortunately it closed in 2007. I believe Japan's version closed in 2016.
2016. So
and then
Japan, it actually is still there. The building's there. They renamed it to like futuristic technologies or something. So the rides, carts are the same, and the ride itself is the same. It's just different themed on it
and named, yeah,
and different theme and different named. But everything still stands. So if you wanted to see the actual things, you would just go there. But yeah. So go ahead.
And then I believe California is also closed around the same time as ours because it was paving way for
The Simpsons.
The Simpsons.
Yeah.
And we'll dive into that a little bit after I explain the ride. But the ride, basically, the queue was awesome. You are going to Doc Brown's Institute, and you are going to be, testing out things and everything. And while you're taking a tour of the facility, while you're taking a tour, Biff comes in, and he steals the DeLorean and locks Doc Brown in his office. And so Doc he's been working on another DeLorean that is remote controlled. And he said, you're going to have to go and fight Biff. And what you have to do is you have to hit him in the back and bump him back to our time period. And you have to find out, he's doing time jumps. So he's going from the future to the past to the present and everything like that. And you have to find him and get him back to our time period. So the whole ride is literally just about fighting Biff to get him back to our time period. And so you go through, the beginning is Hill Valley in the future, and then you go to I believe, like the prehistoric times.
Yeah, so there's even a part where we run into the dinosaurs and we have a giant T-Rex that we have to get away from.
Yep.
And everything like that. And then we eventually come back and we end, we get to see the clock tower and everything.
Yep, we go through the clock tower.
And your ride screen is literally the DeLorean and everything like that. Like, you get to see the time dates and everything like that. It's a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun, and Doc Brown is talking to you the whole time, controlling your car, which was really cool. And they have, like, a little screen that had him on it, and he was talking the whole time. So it was really immersive.
Yeah.
And it was really cool. As a kid, I remember the only part of the ride that really scared me was the T-Rex part, because you get swallowed. Which was kind of
like bitten. Do you get swallowed or just bitten?
I don't remember.
Then tossed around?
I think you get tossed around and then you get tossed out. But I will say, what I was going to say about the Simpsons ride, which very much irks me, was that so there was rumors that Back to the Future was supposed to have what Springfield has. So you were supposed to see Hill Valley.
Hill Valley.
And they were supposed to expand on the ride that they already had. And it was very upsetting that they didn't do that, because I feel like they totally missed out, because there's so many people that genuinely care about the franchise, and they probably would have loved to walk around Hill Valley and see Mayor Goldie Wilson, pictures around in the clock tower and everything. But I will say, what I was going to say about The Simpsons is that entire ride, I feel like, is almost a cop-out. If you ride the ride and you look at them back to back, it's almost a cop-out of Back to the Future. Especially the part where you get swallowed by Maggie. She does the same thing as the T-Rex. And you go into different parts, and you have to figure your way out. And then, it's just, I feel like it's a little bit of a cop-out. The ride itself is pretty close, or pretty similar to what you experienced on Back to the Future, just not Back to the Future and it's Simpsons now. So
they probably kept a lot of the same elements, because I don't think the entire building got demolished.
No,
I think it probably is similar to what Japan did, where they rethemed everything.
Yep.
But Japan kept a lot more of the original elements. Like, I think the cars literally are still the DeLoreans.
Yeah, no, this one is a roller coaster car that you get into.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I think probably the seating is the same.
Probably.
But they just dismantled the front and the back and kept it just the box.
Yeah, they changed a little more.
They still have the butterfly doors, though. So it could be the same mechanisms. Yeah.
Similar to it.
And so did California. California did the same. Theirs is the exact same Springfield as ours is.
Is it?
Yeah, it's the same ride.
I'll have to go back, and I wonder if we go back and really take a look at it, and we'll see what kind of things we can see. Because sometimes there are some hidden gems that Universal likes to do. Right? I mean, they did keep the actual DeLorean and the trains from the movie, which is right outside Springfield, like right before you come in there, in the kids area, the like Toonville there.
Yeah. So right in front of Kids Zone, they have, like I was saying, in the third movie, he comes back and he makes a different DeLorean, or he makes another time machine out of a train, and you get to you can take pictures in front of it and everything like that. And then our DeLorean, we have one of, I think there's only 3 left in existence. I'm not quite sure. My dad knows about the DeLoreans, but I believe we have one of 3 left in existence that wasn't dismantled after filming or destroyed from weather conditions and everything. We have one. I believe California has one, and then there's one in private collectors' hands. And I believe ours is one from the 3rd movie.
Oh, from the 3rd?
Yeah, from the 3rd movie. I don't think ours is from the first or the 2nd.
We'll have to look more into that.
Yeah, I'll have to double check about that.
We've had a lot, and then there's also Doc Brown will come out, and you get to meet with Doc Brown, which is a lot of fun. We've met so many, and they're so much fun. Just talking with them. The people who portray Doc Browns are so great. They're my favorite.
Yeah, they're pretty great. I got the chance to work in entertainment, and at Universal Studios, and I will say that people that we say that we're best friends with somebody, when people are friends with some of these characters, especially the face characters like Doc Brown or Marilyn Monroe or any type of those characters, a lot of them are really fun because they genuinely embrace that character, because a lot of them, from what I've talked to about it, they've gotten that their whole lives, that they look like these said people. So being able to do that as a career,
bring it out,
and it fully embrace that, I feel like is very liberating for a lot of them. And I have a dear friend who still is friends with Doc Brown, who he says it's his full-time job. He loves it. He's been doing it since Doc Brown first came out, I believe in '93. So he's getting older. He's probably going to retire here shortly, but he still looks like Doc Brown, and he loves it. So yeah, it's a really cool, fun photo opportunity if you are a fan of the franchise, to take pictures with Doc Brown. And I believe when we had when they came back to the future in October 15th, 2015, they had a Marty lookalike and Marty does not come out, only Doc comes out.
Yes.
But for that specific day, they had a Marty lookalike, and they were driving around with a DeLorean that was a remodeled DeLorean that they have in the back. And you could take photos with Marty and Doc Brown in the Hollywood Strip. And they were taking pictures. And it was,
cool.
I was working that day, and it was a blast to see everybody's reactions. I mean, you could see the dad crowd forming.
Yes.
And it was awesome. It was a really fun experience. And I highly suggest, if you go out to any of the Universal parks that offer any type of photo op with the Back to the Futures, but especially the ones here in Orlando, it's such a fun opportunity. And I promise you, all of the guys that work out there that are friends with Doc Brown, they will just give you an experience that you won't forget. So yeah, it's great.
It's so much fun. And we got to be there, like, in the movie theaters when they did that special. So I don't know if you know, but when it came to October of 2015, on that day, Universal offered all 3 movies back to back in private theaters. We both got the chance to go. We also got like signed posters and stuff too.
We went with my dad.
Yeah,
and I still have that poster. That poster that's in my my animal room over here. I have a Back to the Future poster, and I still have it. My dad kept it all these years, and he gave it to me when I moved in.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
How sweet. So they did that. There were so many fun things that day in the Universal movie theaters there. You also got special messages from Christopher himself, Doc Brown. There was a special trailer of Jaws 19.
Yeah.
Which I peeped like this through the whole time.
It was great.
It was so much fun. And then, oh my gosh.
Was that 25?
25?
25 years?
Yeah, that would be 25.
Yeah, I think it says it on my poster was 25.
No, that math doesn't sound right now that I think about it.
I don't think it was the October 15th. I think it was the 25-year mark. And I'll have to look at the poster.
We don't know.
We don't know.
We'll get
But
back to you.
whatever it was that probably will stay in my head forever. My
It was
memories
so much
forever.
fun.
It was the line was out the door. I remember
Yes.
it took forever to get into the theater, but oh my god, was it worth the wait. It
Yes.
was amazing.
So much worth the wait. Now, what we've talked about today is just a snippet,
Yeah.
like a slide of everything that we went through. And Netflix a few years ago went together because, like we said, Back to the Future has one of the biggest and best fan bases, in my opinion, out there. Spanned over 36 years at this point, still going strong. They put together a back in time documentary
Yeah.
that they put together, all about the first half's kind of all about making behind the scenes, was like how the movie wasn't even going to happen at one point.
Yeah.
There was so much, everybody was rejecting the script so
Yeah.
much.
Well, and,
Yeah.
and that documentary just kind of gave you a look into what the writers and the directors were fighting for. They believed in this
Yeah.
movie so much, but there was slight problems with the script that Disney wouldn't touch it. Many places would not touch it because of one part of that script where Marty's mother ends up falling, the younger mother falling for Marty himself. So
I think it was specifically the Calvin scene too.
yes, the Calvin Klein.
Calvin. Why are you calling him Calvin? It's on your underwear.
Yeah.
So,
I think that definitely was
a lot of people didn't want that.
They didn't want to touch it. They didn't think that it was gonna be a smash hit, and boy, are they probably kicking themselves.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, and how things have changed and what they'll allow now, but
Yeah.
so it talks about getting the movie up and running, talks about the casting, how Michael J. Fox wasn't originally cast as Marty.
Well, they wanted him. He was their first
Wanted
choice, but
him.
he was in Family
with
Ties.
the Family Ties
In the
contract
morning.
so it was a very difficult filming, but then they got somebody else, Eric something, I don't remember his last name. There was a few screen tests with him even, and it just wasn't working out. We went back to Michael J. Fox, so happy they landed on him and we got him for the full movie and everything.
Well, to go on that, like when you learn about that whole incident in the documentary, is that they went through about half the movie with Eric in it, and they knew that something was off. There just wasn't that magic that they were looking for as far as the chemistry with Doc and Marty. It just wasn't meshing, and everybody knew in the cast that it was just not working out. And so they pulled Eric into the office and said, tonight was your last night shooting. And then filming kind of went for a halt for a minute because they didn't have a Marty, and half the movie was done. So they pleaded with Michael J. Fox and said, we're going to have to... Is my cat in the...
There's a cat there.
Everybody, this is Charlie. Anyways,
Just like
real life. But so they went back to Michael J. Fox and said, will you please play Marty? Nobody else can play this part like you. And Michael J. Fox said it was long nights because he would film at night. So a lot of the movie, he was acting alone. And they would just insert him in certain scenes. And a lot of the filming was at night because that's only when he could do it. So he said there was long nights, but it was definitely worth it. And he says in the documentary that during the big preview event of, or release of the event, Princess Diana was sitting next to him. And he said like he really had to use the bathroom. And of course you can't ask her, hey, I have to go to the bathroom, because you can't talk to them unless they talk to you first. And it's in the middle of the movie and he really has to go to the bathroom, and he's right in the middle of the theater, And so he can't like go the other way, but he can't ask her. So he sat there in pain the whole time. But he said it was just those type of experiences that he never really got to have until Back to the Future. Like, who else could say they sat next to Princess Diana watching a movie that he ended up being in and almost wasn't in. So, I mean, I don't think I can imagine that franchise without Michael J. Fox in it. And I don't think it would have been as huge of a success as it is. Nobody else is Marty but Michael J. Fox. He just played that character so well.
This is so true. I feel like that goes for Doc Brown as well. Like, Lloyd knocked that out of the park. I love him so much. I think because he was the only option, like, nobody even talks about who could have played him because there isn't. Like, no, it's him.
And I want to say, I don't remember. I'll have to ask my dad what her name is, but the woman who plays Michael J. Fox, or Marty's mother, Lorraine, I will always see her as Lorraine. If she plays on anything else, I've seen her in a couple TV shows and everything, she is Lorraine. I don't see her as anything else.
She's known for that role.
She's known for that role, and she's such a good actress. And she's in the documentary. They all are, and she's in the documentary, and she says that that changed her life as well.
Yeah.
You know, so I feel like, and that's what everybody says, that this franchise as a whole had changed their entire lives. Like, it had paved the way for them to be
it changed
the
all
actors.
Our lives.
It is.
All the fans and everything. And in the documentary, it even goes into the fan base. So it, like we said, it starts off with the movie and stuff like that, but it then eventually goes into all about the fans and all the memorabilia. Like, there's people that have the 3 or 4 DeLoreans. All the private collectors who got props for their movies and everything like that. I think it even goes into after Nike made the lace-up shoes and stuff.
Yeah.
It goes into a lot of different stuff and everything.
Yeah, I think the documentary as a whole, I've watched it about 2 or 3 times now. And I can honestly say that it really, really does a good job with talking about the movies, but also, like, what did it take to make these movies?
Yes.
How hard was it to really make these movies? It was not an easy climb. And then also, like you said, like how it affected everybody that has watched these movies throughout, you know, the 36 years that it's been here. And it just really showed you that it's a really good movie, and the people that love these movies, the fan base that it has, we're all very similar people.
Yes.
You know, we all have that love for that movie, and it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
It's so much wonder and fantasy and everything. I mean, who hasn't thought about time traveling? Who wouldn't like to go back and see their parents young? Who wouldn't want to go to the future and all this stuff? Hi, Charlie. Come, buddy. So Back to the Future just holds a special part in all our lives, I think. And that is, again, why we wanted to just come here and really get this off our chest to talk about it. I mean, let's have a conversation, please. If any of you guys want to talk about Back to the Future as much as we do, comment, hit us up, send us some messages.
I think I do see a couple of comments on Facebook Live.
That's so cool. I mean, on Twitch, too. We're going to post it to YouTube. We can't wait to get involved with you guys and just talk so much more. And like we said, this is a little 2.5 episode of our podcast or of our channel and everything. We're going to be putting out so much more stuff. Like next week, we're talking about how we're going to talk about the Fear Street that just came out. We'll be talking about Resident Evil, horror. We love talking about those things. More classic movies to come as well, like
Halloween Horror Nights updates.
We're
looking very closely into that. We're hoping that some announcements, they've been teasing us for the past couple days that announcements are coming. So as soon as we know, you'll know.
Yes.
So yeah, we're definitely trying to keep the content going.
We have so much stuff we want to talk about. Like, we talked about Jaws. We talked about Back to the Future. Something else that's really close to us is Beetlejuice. Like, we can't wait. We're holding off on that one until a little more time, but that is something that's going to be like an hour-long special because we could talk about that forever.
Yep.
But throw us in some of your movies. We want to get talking to you guys and everything like that. But it's been so much fun talking to you guys. Thanks for sitting here listening to us, just chatting about one of our favorite movies again.
It's a very something near and dear to our heart, and we wanted to keep it casual. Obviously, my cat has decided to join the conversation as well, so we're keeping it casual and real life for you. But yeah, it's something that's very near and dear to our hearts, and like you said, it's just such a small sliver of what this franchise really is.
Yes.
That it would take us days to really just...
So much to unpack.
Yeah.
We'll repeat ourselves and beat it till it's dead or whatever.
Yeah.
We just love it so much. But thank you guys for everything. Thanks for tuning in. Please tune in next week, Friday. We'll have some more stuff. Check out our social medias. Easy listening across the board.
Yep. Facebook, we're Easy Listening 13.
Easy Listening 13.
But the rest of them are Easy_listening.
Yes.
So, and we are going to be making a what is that new fad one called? The app.
I don't know. I'm an old timer. My knees ache when it rains. I don't know what the
bend down wrong. Your back is decommissioned for a week. Oh my gosh, what is everybody on?
TikTok?
Yeah, TikTok.
TikTok.
That's it. We're gonna be making a TikTok, and if you want to see us,
just throughout the week and stuff.
Yeah.
We'll be posting. We're getting together on Monday. Gonna go out to Universal. We'll be posting. We're gonna go get the ocean attack and everything.
Yeah, the shark attack.
Yes. So.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much, and remember, possession is 9/10 of the law.
Bye, guys. Wait, don't pause the Facebook.
Don't pause the
Facebook?
Facebook gets